A quick icebreaker just to be sure for those of us who are in here right now. I see we have some people already joined, some are still joining. I will keep admitting them from time to time, but if you don't mind, you could just maybe type your name in the comment section. If you check the left hand, if you're using a phone, I think you should probably have that under your screen or maybe just at the bottom of your screen. But if you're using the laptop like I am, you should see it on the right hand side of your screen. Just type in the chat box. You could just tell us your name, like I'm going to type mine now. I am Olubenga Shile. So while we wait for others to still join us, you could just type your name in the comment section so we can identify you accordingly. And as you may have heard already, we also have a giveaway. And of course, that will happen towards the end of this video. Okay, I see you, Genesis. Thank you very much. How are you doing, Genesis? Genesis Benjamin, the man with two names from the Bible. Thank you so much for joining. Please, if you're still here, you can still drop your names in the chat box as well, so we can recognize you as you join. So a very quick one. We are starting right away, and I'll just be going right away into the introduction. So good evening again, everyone, and welcome to this October edition. That's October 2024 edition of the Dynamical Consultants monthly webinars. So we started this in August, and this is the third of the series, the third in the series, I should say. And of course, the plan is to, make this a continual thing every month, where we establish some, some formidable spirit as far as thought leadership is concerned across different areas. And that's the essence of this webinars, the Dynamical Consulting monthly webinars. So I'm delighted to be your moderator as usual. This is the third time I'm moderating this session. Hopefully one of these days, possibly one of you might get to moderate this time around. Feel free to reach out if you'd like to anchor one of these sessions. It's really be nice, being in the audience seat for once and watching things from outside. Yes, and today our topic is the lens and the phone, photography in the age of smartphones. And this is both a timely and is an essential topic for anyone who has witnessed the tremendous impact that smartphone technology has had on photography and cinematography alike. Now, with advancements in smartphone cameras, now, back then, I remember the first time I ever used a camera phone. I think this was sometime around 2006 or 5 or 6. I'm trying to remember the exact date now. No, I think, yeah, it should be 2005. And that was the Samsung Free Eye. I don't know. Let me see if I have feelers in the house, if anybody can relate. If you had a phone around 2006, I know we are more like in the Gen Z population or Gen Z world, I should say. So I don't know if anybody ever saw the Samsung Free Eye. If you ever saw that phone, can I see your hands up, please? Let me just be sure I'm not maybe the oldest person here. If you ever saw Samsung Free Eye, or how about Sendo X? Or let me see if I remember any other one. How about Sagem, my X7? Yeah, I think that was the first camera phone I had. Sorry, before the Samsung Free Eye. Sagem, my X7. I think that was sometime in 2003. And the funny 2004 rather. And the funny thing about those phones then is that if you take pictures with them, it looks as if you're taking pictures in the night. Even in the daytime, as clear as everything is, the camera quality was so terrible, if I should say. Of course, when you compare it to now, back then it looked like the best thing since sliced bread. So back then, of course, things began to evolve. And today now we have a lot of phones that would literally give. Oh, Genesis, you saw the Sagem my X7. Which one did you see? Because I'll be surprised because Genesis, wait, hold on. I'm trying to look at your age. Okay, let's not do that now. But if you saw Samsung Free Eye, well, that's a good one. That was something around 2004, 2005. If you have thoughts, please feel free to share in the comment section. Now, I will proceed, on that. So basically, this was the reality about phones back then. Only a few phones really had that level of, of that capacity to do what some cameras are doing today. And of course, with these advancements, the barriers to creating high quality photos and videos lower than ever. Virtually anybody can create anything right now. Once you have a very good iPhone, even from your iPhone 6, iPhone 7, the Samsung Galaxies and all of that, you can, even now, itel, Infinix, Techno, they are coming out with some fantastic camera phones that you begin to wonder, do we still need photographers at all in this time and age? So it's making photography accessible to almost anyone with a mobile device. But we also need to understand that this accessibility has raised questions, about the ongoing relevance of professional photographers and filmmakers. What unique value do they really bring, if you want to ask ourselves, especially when you consider the fact that a lot of people can do these things that photographers and filmmakers do. I could take my iPhone and record a full-length movie and I put it on YouTube, and I'm garnering all the views and all the content and all the engagements. Whereas I didn't need to use any professional any professional camera or stuff like that. So how are they adapting, those in that space? I don't know if there are any photographers in this space. Now let me quickly take a quick poll. If you're a photographer in this space, or maybe you do some photography one way or the other, can I see your hands up if you don't mind? You could just maybe raise a hand just so we know those who are in that space. Anybody in that space, maybe you're in the photography space or you're in the creative space, you could raise a hand just so we know you're here. Okay, I see some. I see hands already. Thank you very much. I see your hand. I see Oluwatosin Lelakinwa, of course, one of our panelists. I see Babatunde Ogunsiku as well. Thank you for joining us. I think I saw Aduni's hand as well for a bit. So yeah, quite a number, but then it doesn't have to be our panelists. If you are at all in that space, you can see, if you see the emojis there, you see the hands there, you see signs, you can always click on any of them so you can raise a hand. So yes, so that's fantastic. Good to know we have people in that space here. Now moving on, right? So the accessibility has raised a lot of questions. What value do photographers really bring? And how are they adapting? And again, beyond that, what lies ahead for the art of photography? So this evening, we'll be delving into these questions, with insights from our expert panelists, and they bring years of experience and unique perspectives to the discussion. But before we begin, there are a few guidelines I'd like to share with you all as you participate in this webinar. The first one is that you can feel free to use the chat feature. I just encouraged that already for comments. If you have any comments, you have questions, please just drop them in the comment section in the chat feature. And of course, we're going to have a Q&A session later, so you can post your questions even ahead. You don't need to wait until the session is over. The minute anything drops to your mind, please just drop your question in the chat box or the chat feature, so we can take that during the Q&A session. Of course, we encourage you to also keep your microphones muted until the Q&A, except you have something to say. If you want to say something, please just signify with a raise of your hand, and of course, we'll maybe unmute you and allow you to speak. But before then, please just ensure once you're joining, you keep your microphones muted. Then we'll also definitely love to hear from each of you. So please fully engage with us actively in the chat or the Q&A sections. And at this point, I'll be introducing my distinguished panelists who are going to be leading us in this conversation today. Now, the first person I'll be introducing them as they come, but I'll recognize their presence definitely. Of course, we have Aduni Subomi Odumbaku, of Aduni Studios. Aduni, can you confirm you're here, please? Maybe just unmute yourself so we know you're here with us.
Yes,
Aduni,
I'm here. Hi.
Oh, fantastic.
Hi,
Thank you so much, Aduni. Glad to have you here. So Aduni is not just a panelist, she's a client, and she's also a very good friend. I won't call her my best friend, but one of my very closest friends right now. So I'm very happy to have you on this webinar. We look forward to hearing you share from your wealth of experience. Of course, we also have Oluwatosin Lelakinwa of Tosin Snaps Studios. The pronunciation, if you see, is with an XNAPZ. So yeah, Tosin, can you confirm you're here, please? Just so we know you're here.
Hi, good day, everybody.
Okay, good evening from here. I know it's probably morning. No, it's not morning. It's probably afternoon where you are, right? Early afternoon. So yes, so thank you, but good evening from here in Nigeria. Of course, I also have Ayokunle Ajisafe here too. All right, Ayokunle Ajisafe is the creative director of C-Boy Productions. Ayokunle Ajisafe, please, can you confirm you're in the house? Let's know if he's here. Aji, that's what we call him anyway. Okay, I'm sure he's going to join us along the way. He's going to be taking this, I think it's the third presentation, so I guess he's going to be joining us in a bit. So yes, so while I wait for him, then of course the fourth person here is our fourth panelist, Babatunde Ogunsiku. Babatunde, please, can you confirm you're here in the house?
Yes, good evening, everybody.
All right, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. So yes, I have a very strong panel here. These are people who are professionals in their own right, and they'll be giving us, they'll be doing justice to this conversation. Again, like we said earlier on, we're looking at the theme, the lens and the phone, photography in the smartphone age. Of course, our first panelist is Aduni Subomi Odumbaku, and she's going to be talking about the art of photography, why skill still matters. The art of photography, why skill still matters. Of course, our first panelist is the creative director of Aduni Studios, Atlanta, Georgia. Aduni is known for her ability to tell stories through her work, and tonight she will explore the essential skills that remain irreplaceable in photography, despite the prevalence of smartphone cameras. And before I welcome Aduni, I'm just going to quickly share. I'm going to share our citation very quickly, and I'll read through that I hope you can all see my screen and I read from here. Aduni Subomi Odumbaku, the creative director of Aduni Studios, describes herself as a storyteller whose photography journey began as a hobby but quickly transformed into a passionate pursuit. Her love for storytelling is evident in every photograph she captures, as she seeks to create visual narratives that deeply resonate with viewers. Combining technical expertise with an eye for detail, our work stands out not only for its audio for a bit. Can you confirm you can still hear me, please?
Yeah, we can.
All right, great. My
Yeah,
apologies.
we can hear you.
Okay, I felt a glitch for a bit. All right, let me wrap up that. Now, combining technical expertise with an eye for detail, our work stands out not only for its beauty, but also for its depth and meaning. Odumbaku approaches each project with genuine enthusiasm, connecting with the subjects to ensure that every photograph reflects their unique personality and story. This dedication to both our clients and our craft has earned her a reputation as one of the industry's most sought-after photographers. At Adoni Studios, located in Alpharetta, Atlanta, Georgia, Odumbaku and her team bring moments to life, offering a creative and inviting space for clients, whether for portrait sessions, wedding photography, or commercial work. At this point, I'll be yielding the floor to Adoni Subomi Odumbaku of Adoni Studios. Welcome, Adoni. You have 10 minutes for your presentation. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to join you guys. My name is Adoni of Adoni Studios, and it's beautiful to be here today. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear from here. And if you can turn on your camera as well, though, if you don't mind, so we can see your face, if it's comfortable too, that is.
At this moment, it's not, but I will before the end of the webinar. I apologize for that. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Please proceed. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So we're talking about skills. Just give me one moment. Let me put up my notes, please.
That's fine. I will wait for Adoni to come back. I'm sure she'll be joining us back in a moment. Is there anybody here who thinks, maybe let's call it a poll, do you think photographers are relevant? I'll throw a poll open shortly, and I would like to see your comments. Of course, part of the giveaway we are doing is also a function of your participation in this webinar. So it's not just about being here, it's about participating. I'm going to do the poll shortly. Adoni, please let us know if you're free to go ahead.
Just give me one moment. Let's do the poll real quick.
All right, I see a hand from Chinemerem Ajogudato. Neme, do you have a question? You can unmute yourself and speak quickly, or if you want to type it in the chat box, so we don't interrupt with our panelists. You could just type it in the chat box. Is that okay? All right, thank you, Adoni, we're still waiting for you. You have less than 9 minutes more now.
Okay, yes, I'm here. I apologize for that. I'm so sorry.
Fine, it's fine.
So, skills are essential in photography. I am going to share a couple of. Can I share my screen right here? Is that possible? I just send it to the.
No, you can. You can go ahead. I'll just stop sharing so you can share if that's okay.
Okay.
So if I want to start sharing, it's going to override mine anyway. So you can just go ahead and share.
So basically what I wanted to share with you guys was the first actual picture that triggered my curiosity into photography. I took that with my iPhone 6 back then in 2016. And, I just wanted to know how I could do more, how I could elevate my images going forward. And then it made me started learning about, the basic component of photography, the lighting, composition, what type of light to use to achieve what sort of image. Is it hard light, soft light, modifiers to use? There are different type of modifiers out there. Composition, learning about leading lines, the rule of third, depth of field. There are so many things that are really in depth into the knowledge of photography. So to say smartphone users can overthrow the concept of photography, it's like overreaching for me, because photography is too broad. Like, there are so many other components that can actually tell one story, just one story, with the use of camera. I'm still having trouble sharing my screen. I don't know why.
Let me see what's going on. Okay, maybe do you mind just sending it to me and I'll just share? I really thought you'd be
Yeah,
able
I
to share.
think I should do that.
Okay. And meanwhile, we have a poll up already for those who might want to participate. There's a poll already. We might be having a few more.
So
Okay,
why
so
still matter?
let me know once you've sent me the image so I can help you share.
I just shared the folder with you.
Okay, on WhatsApp, I presume.
Yes, on WhatsApp.
Okay, I'm going to be checking that now. Okay.
So you can share the first image and a couple more images that have created with the use of camera, and basically gathering all the required skills to be able to achieve all of these images.
Okay,
So
good.
the smartphone is a good device. Don't get me wrong. It's a device to gather ideas on the get-go. With your smartphone, you can have as much as 20 ideas in a day. So that's the beauty of it. So let's not overplay our hands with smartphone, thinking that smartphone can do the same job of a photographer, or a smartphone can represent what a camera can actually do. This picture that Benga is currently showing right now is one of the stories that I put together for one of my clients. Her name is Sarah Ezekiel. She's a sickle cell survivor, and she wanted us to do something that would represent her emotions, those moments where she feels alone whenever she has a pain crisis. And I use the blue lighting. I tend to use a lot of colors in my images to just represent emotions, people, or say for instance, somebody coming for a pre-wedding shoot, a, maternity shoot. If the baby is like a boy or a girl, I try to use color, use pink or blue to just play around my settings, or my set, to just elevate those emotion. And from one picture, you can actually understand what I'm trying to say, or what the message of the shoot is. This is the first image that I took with my iPhone. This is the first picture that triggered my curiosity. If Benga zooming into this picture, you can see that the key elements, which are the subject of the picture, it's really missing. Like, you can't see their face, you don't know what they're wearing, you can't actually tell what their emotion is. But if I took this picture using my camera and I'm prepared for it, there's a way I'm going to take this picture where my subject will be clearly visible. Whatever emotions they are wearing will be clear. You can actually see all of that, and you can tell what's going on in the picture. Not to say an iPhone doesn't do that. Don't get me wrong, it's a device that it will give you all these ideas, but you still need to gather all the required skills. Put your time into learning the essentials of photography. There's also a service that I'm trying to put out there. It's called Papa by Ajuni Studio. It's an instant event photo shoot, where if you come for your event, I'm gonna take your picture and make it look like you came for an actual photo shoot. And the beauty of that is you can actually scan a QR code and your pictures will be ready in 5 minutes after shot. All of this can be achieved with a smartphone. Don't get me wrong. But you know when you go for an actual photo shoot where different lighting components are put together to just really elevate your images in a way that it's different. It's way out of what your smartphone can do. Another thing I would like to share is, just give me one moment.
Okay, Adoni, while we wait for you to do that, I just saw a question. Okay, this is a
Okay.
very interesting one. It's maybe you could just answer on the go if we don't have to necessarily wait until the Q&A. It says,
Okay.
this is from Cynthia Ebeitali Mabuyaku. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you here. All right, it says, so would you say that an iPhone is better than an Android in terms of picture quality? Now, I think this question is going to cause war.
No, I think it depends on who is handling the phone. Trust me, any device can do anything, depending on who is behind the device. Forget iPhone. With an iPhone, the only exception with an iPhone taking a studio picture will be how to trigger your lights. But if you understand your photography the way you're supposed to understand it, if you acquire the knowledge required to do things beyond, to create images beyond what any other person can do, like any device can do anything. That's the essence of what I'm trying to say. It's the person behind the device that matters. It's what you envision for that picture that you will put together to achieve whatever you want to achieve.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Fantastic.
All
All right. She
right.
says exactly. You have just made my day. I want to believe Ms. Mabuyaku is probably one of those people, the Samsung versus iPhone people. I get that a lot because I've never used an iPhone before. I use a Samsung phone. And iPhone guys have literally frustrated my life. Don't worry, I'm not taking out of your time. I'll add 1 or 2 minutes more for you. So you can continue.
It's okay.
Thank you.
So I'm going to conclude by saying the skills is still required. Photography is here to stay. Let's evolve with time. Every creative out there, I would just advise them to keep doing their best. Dare to be different. Think about something, create something extraordinary. Photography is not going anywhere. The likes of AI is there. They are tools to elevate what we do as a creative. They are tools for us to use to implement our work better. But photography is here to stay forever because it's about human, like it's about you, what you can create, what you can invent differently. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for that inspiring and fantastic presentation, Adoni. Definitely. Thank you. I see applauses. Please feel free to clap if you want to clap. There are emojis there. Just click on anyone there, and of course, we can celebrate her. Thank you for that insightful time. Delving into the part where we're talking about the art of photography and why skill still matters. Thank you, Adoni, for those compelling insights, and of course, the artistry on the artistry behind professional photography. And at this point, we'll be going into the next panel session. I trust Oluwatosin Ilakinwa is on right now. She'll be speaking on the theme, adapting to the smartphone era, the challenges and the opportunities. Now, of course, our next speaker, Oluwatosin Ilakinwa, is the creative director of Tosi Snap Studios, also based in Canada. Of course, she shuttles between Nigeria and Canada anyway. So she's still very, very much alive here in Nigeria as much as Canada. So before we go into that, I'll just read a citation very quickly. If you just give me a moment to do that. All right. Now, Oluwatosin Ilakinwa is the creative director of Tosin Snap Studios, a photography studio with operations in both Nigeria and Canada. As a visionary female photographer, Ilakinwa has gained a reputation for capturing powerful and evocative images that tell compelling stories. Her work spans across various genres, including portrait, fashion, event, and commercial photography, where she combines creativity, technical skill, and a deep understanding of her subjects to produce stunning visuals. Under her leadership, Tosin Snap Studios has become a sought-after brand for clients seeking professional and artistic photography services. Whether in Nigeria or Canada, Ilelakinwa's commitment to excellence and her passion for her craft continue to set her apart in the industry, making her a trailblazer in both local and international markets. That's Tosin Ilelakinwa, our second speaker, who is going to be speaking on adapting to the smartphone era, challenges and opportunities. And of course, she brings a wealth of knowledge on evolving client expectations and shares practical ways professionals are adapting. Oluwatosin, the floor is yours. Thank you. 10 minutes, please.
Okay, thank you so very much.
And
Thank you.
if you don't mind, too, we couldn't see Adeni's face. Maybe we'll get to see your face.
Okay.
So that our audience know that it's not spirits that are talking to them, that they're actual people. You know, AI does a lot of things these days. You could just AI might actually be the one talking to us. So good to know you're not AI.
Okay,
Hi.
you see me now?
Definitely, I can see, and I'm sure they can too.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, sir. Listening to the plenty, okay, it is humble to sing. And I'm happy to be here speaking about what I love so much, photography. And of course, what we are experiencing now, the evolution in photography generally, how it affects professional photographers, and how to also encourage smartphone users to also, dabble into photography and all. Okay, so I'm going to start with my experience as a photographer. In recent times, I have been to a lot of, I've had clients come around, or I go to, some clients' houses, and they say things like, oh, why am I even paying a photographer? Why am I, paying for your service? I have so Samsung phone, I have the latest iPhone. Why do I have to, what difference? What are you bringing to the table? And sometimes, initially, the first day I heard that, I was like, what's this man saying? Like, do you see the lights I'm bringing into your place? Like, do you see, do you even see the gadgets I'm using? But I totally understand, because you have devices that are so expensive. You have phones that sometimes when you take pictures, you take some pictures with some Samsung phone, you see the colors, you see how beautiful they come out. And you're like, even as a photographer, guy, what are you bringing to the table, sincerely? But really, there are a lot of differences. Like Adini said earlier, you cannot, compare. You cannot compare the professional photographers and or the professional cameras with the smartphones, because they are just different. What we can do is complement, bring them together and achieve what we want to do. So I'm going to start with the challenges of this evolving technology, where you have a lot of smartphone users believing that, okay, with their smartphone, they don't need professional photography. Now, the first one, the challenges we face as professional photographers is the increased competition. Now, it is a major thing. There's high demand of the high quality of smartphone cameras has made photography really accessible. You could just take pictures, go out, take pictures at events, and you post. And secondly, the fact that we mostly use those pictures now on social media platforms. You don't even have to, print pictures these days. All you need to do is post them online. You get your likes, so you really don't. There's this perception that you don't need this quality. So that's like a major challenge. And you have a lot of amateur photographers. They can produce virtually every day. A lot of softwares these days on phones that really, that are really appealing. And it's a challenge. We also have the perceived value decline. There is a decline because a lot of persons just believe, the pictures on the phone, they are good enough. I don't need to, take quality picture. I don't need to go to a professional photographer. What I get on my phone is fine. And the advancement also, we have a lot of good smartphone cameras. They are doing so well, especially in videography. You can make really nice videos with with your phone cameras. That is not something we should debate about, but there is definitely a difference. And also, the another challenge is the diminished, people don't really want to print pictures again. People don't want to make, hardly do you see persons, prints the normal 5x7. The only printing people do now is like albums, wedding albums. You have like major events. So the decline in print, because that's one of the major advantage, one of the major thing that differentiates the professional camera from the smartphones, because with the professional cameras, you get higher resolution, you get, in your prints, when you want to know the major difference between photographing with the professional camera and the phone camera, just go and print it. That is not like an argument. It's not an argument that you have to prove over, quality. You just have to go pre-print it, and you see how the difference. But a lot of persons don't even print pictures again. So that is another challenge we have. And of course, the price of that cutting. For instance, I am telling you this is my charge, and you're like, I can take these pictures on my phone. Why do I have to pay this amount? And it just is a major issue with us, affecting us, professional photographers. So I'm going to talk about the opportunities now. I hope I'm still within my time frame. Opportunities. Now, focusing on expertise and creativity. As a photographer, it's beyond just taking the pictures. But like my colleague said, Adoni, it's beyond taking pictures. There is lighting. There is the creativity behind it. I'm a child photographer also, so I do a lot of. You create the sets. It's like creating a set for the child. The clicking of the camera, is like the least thing that we do. So you have to have the knowledge of lighting. You have to have the knowledge of color combinations before you can say, oh, I'm a professional photographer. So it's beyond just, taking your phone and taking pictures. There is a lot, like Duni said also, how do you trigger your lights with your phone? I'm yet to see that technology. Maybe it's already here, I don't know. And also leveraging another opportunity we can also leverage on these smartphones as supplementary tools, in the sense that, okay, I can create behind the scenes videos. It's adding value to my my profession. We have a lot of photographers now that we do BTS. When you come around, you want short clips. Definitely, I can add that to me. And with my phone, I can make that happen. And it would also help because you can give them, because another thing that people would argue about is I don't get my pictures immediately from a professional photographer because we need time to edit. But when I give you BTS videos, those are almost immediate. I give you like a mirror to what you're expecting, right? It buys us time. At the same time, we are also, bringing in the smartphones into our, what we do, our skills. Also specializing in high-end photography. No matter how the smartphone era is here, and we have a lot of persons into that, there's still a demand for high-end photography. We have a lot of events. Would you want to hire a phone photographer for your wedding? We have a lot of also product photography. These are high-end requirements where you don't just use, definitely you use the professional camera. So if we can also specialize in high-end photography and not just the casual photography. Also, we have education and workshops. Now, we have a lot of aspiring photographers using smartphones. There are a lot of knowledge that we professional photographers can, bring into the smartphone era. We can create workshops. So we have opportunities of creating workshops, educate persons, because there are a lot of things to learn. It's beyond the advantage the smartphones bring is because your pictures are automatic, right? Unlike we take pictures in RAW. Mostly we take pictures in RAW for, to edit high-end editing. So I can, explain what you just say, oh, someone was trying to take a picture. A friend of mine was taking a picture. I was like, can you put it in so F stop? I'm like, do you understand what this means? Like, it's beyond you just saying, oh, it blurs the background. It blurs the background. How do you achieve those things? So we can create workshops to also, incorporate this into our professions too. So in summary, I would say we have to adapt to the future. If the future is here, we can't be left behind. We can't say, oh, I'm a professional photographer, or I can't. You can't just stand alone and not incorporate. The world is really evolving. Technology is evolving by by the day. We have a lot of now. The cameras, the phones even have 3 cameras, 4 lenses. I mean, 4 lenses, 3 lenses behind them. How do you, So we have to incorporate these things, adapt, embrace technology, and also focus on client experience. As I said, you can, incorporate, create content with your phone while you give them, more like videos, little snapshots with your phone, immediate ones, while they wait for the high end. So they themselves can see the difference between them. And we can also always collaborate. We can always collaborate with influencers, collaborate with brands, and by adapting and evolving in this area, we can turn potential threats into unique opportunities and align with the changing landscape of photography. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Tosin. Thank you very much. Thank you for that presentation. Basically trying to help us, filling that gap, bridging that gap between the smartphones and the camera, the actual camera, the challenges in it and the opportunities therein. So thank you so much for that very, very insightful session, Tosin Lilakinwa of Tosin Snap Studios. And of course, those were very thought-provoking insights to how photographers can remain competitive even in this smartphone era. Without wasting more time, we are going to be going right away into the next session. We're going to be having the next panelist. I called his name earlier on. I don't know. Aji, please, can you confirm you're around now? Aji, are you in? Just so we know. Ayokuli Aji Shafe.
Yeah.
If you can unmute yourself. Oh, fantastic. Yes, but your voice sounds very low. I don't know if you're using a device or something.
Sorry, I'm still on the move, but
okay. I guess we would have to just I guess we would just manage. If you could just maybe help us amplify your voice a bit.
I'll try and amplify my voice. Is it good now?
It's good now. At least I know I can hear it. I can hear it loud and clear. All right, I see some comments for Tosin there. Okay, Tosin, someone says you earned my respect. And I see applause is also still coming from across. Thank you so much. Yeah, Genesis, thank you for your comments as well. She really did. All right, thank you so much for those 2 sessions, Aduni and Tosin. And at this point, I'll be introducing Aji, our third speaker. Now, Aji's, if you live in Ondo State or if you work in this space, is a name you cannot... You almost, Aji is also a friend, and a lot of times we hang out. Whenever we go out, I feel like, oh God, this celebrity of a man. He tells me it's not a celebrity, but actually we can't go by 10 people without at least some people who reach. Aji, a very popular face, especially in those states. And of course, to do his citation here, it says Aji, as is popularly known, is the creative director of Seaboy Productions, an organization producing short films and stage plays for over a decade. Seaboy Productions has built a strong reputation in the Nigerian film and theater industry by crafting content that entertains while challenging societal norms. Aji's work blends creativity with social commentary, reflecting his passion for storytelling and the arts. Aji also serves as Chief Protocol Officer at 1201 Agency, a protocol and event consulting firm showcasing his versatility across creative and corporate fields. As a social activist and influencer, Aji uses his platform to speak for the voiceless and advocates for social justice. His YouTube series, My Tech Journey with Aji, has garnered a growing following, offering fresh insight into technology and how it intersects with everyday life from a rookie's perspective. So Aji likes to call himself a tech rookie. I'm still beginning to doubt that because he's been doing this now consistently for some months. So I really won't call him a rookie anymore. And at this point, he's going to be speaking to us on the theme, the cinematic lens, professional filmmaking in a phone camera world. Now, I'd like to welcome Ayokunle Aji-Shafe, of course, creative director of Seaboy Productions, who will explore the unique aspects of professional cinematography and meet the rise of phone footage. Aji will highlight the nuances that distinguish professional filmmaking. And at this point, I'll be handing over the floor to Ayokunle Aji-Shafe. Thank you so much. You have the floor, sir.
I want to believe we can hear me loud and clear. My name is
yes, but if you could still project a little bit more, would appreciate it. You still sound like you sound very close to the speaker.
Now.
Ajit, can you
Hello?
confirm you're still here? So I will wait for Ajit to get himself set.
I'm
There
here.
was a poll.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now. I think we can all hear you. We'll just make do. Don't worry. Just proceed. Okay, yeah. Genesis said he
Okay.
can, so I guess we can. And there's some
All
polls
right.
also. You can still take more of the polls we've shared earlier. So please attend to them. This is about what's going to make up your engagement and your participation in this webinar. Aji, over to you, please. Aji Shafer, thank you so much.
Okay. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Aji, like you have been informed. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm also into a lot of other things. Now, let's go straight into the idea of the competition. Let me call it the competition of the smartphone with the cinematic lenses. I love what I joined late, but I loved where Tosin Ilela Kinwa started from. The fact that people buy expensive phones. If you want to buy an iPhone 16 now, Ireland is about 2,000 Canadian dollars, and you begin to tell yourself quietly that this camera that I have should be able to work wonders. When you begin to take into consignance the fact that this is an age where AI is taking the front center stage. For those of us that are into art, but everybody wants. How do we survive? We have come to realize that as a child, as the smartphones are, we have also discovered that they are not very dynamic in what they do. They are not as dynamic as one would expect them to be, because the people that created some of these devices want to sell, they are up out to sell their market rather than just giving us products. And on the other hand, the people that are also making cinematic cameras are every day improving. There was a time when films were shot. They were shot in film. That's why we call them film. They were like some of us remember when the old cameras, the analog cameras that were not digitally stored. That was how films were shot, and that's why we call them films till today. And they have to take them to the studio to now make them into what we can see that is recorded into videos and digitalized. Now you will see that the cameras that are being produced now, we have seen crop sensor camera, we have seen mirrorless cameras. All these cameras are supposed to gear towards the improvement of the cinematic experience. The truth is this, as much as I agree with the fact that most of the phones that are coming out now, they shoot 4K. Some of them are probably shooting 8K. Some of them are shooting 16K. The truth is this, we don't always get the total experiential experience, let me use the word, that we want to get from cinematic cameras or cinematic lenses. We don't always get them from phones. For instance, when I use an iPhone 11, for instance. If I want to shoot some wide angle shots, there are shots that I cannot achieve just with my phone. There are concave lenses. If I'm using my phone, I cannot achieve them. So there is a lens called the fish eye lens. The fish eye lens, you can't achieve that with your phone. These are part of the cinematic experiences that the smartphone cannot deliver. However, irrespective of how much they try. So what can we do?
I'm sorry, Aji, I don't know if you could maybe lean a bit closer to your mouthpiece. We're still I don't know. I'm struggling to hear. I don't know if others are having the same experience, but you seem a bit far from your mouthpiece. Am I the only one, please?
Can you hear me now? Is it better now? hear you.
Okay,
I can.
it's okay, fantastic.
can.
Okay, fine. I think we can hear you now. Please continue. Thank you.
All right. So the the thing that should come to us when we begin to think in comparison of the smartphone and the cinematic lenses is how to start with what we have as filmmakers. Our goal is to have cinematic shoot. I know that sometimes people will tell us that you can shoot with your phone and still have cinematic shots. But your picture cannot be cinematic, totally cinematic, even when you begin to color grade them at some level. So it is usually better when you want to start learning. If you learn shooting, you start shooting your film, your short films with phone cameras. For instance, like it was said, I have a podcast that I shoot with my phone. My tech journey with Ajit. I shoot with my phone. I don't want to talk myself with looking for the right camera, looking for the right lens. Because that is a training ground for me to improve my skills in my handheld podcast. So if you want to learn, start from the phone lenses, gradually improve yourself until you get to the cinematic lenses. But I tell you for sure that there is nothing the smartphone the smartphone cannot deliver everything that the normal lenses that we use for cinematic shows can deliver. I want to encourage all the listeners that are listening to me this evening. Please, nobody is saying the smartphone is bad. Nobody is trying to pull down the importance or relegate the importance of the smartphone. But understand that when you're in the learning process, go with your smartphone. Also understand that nothing can take away the cinematic lens. Because if you want to send your films, for instance, to cinema, there are requirements, there are prerequisites that you have to meet. There are certain levels of cameras that you have to use. There are certain levels of color grading. So there are software that you can use to edit. It's not everything you edit that can go to Netflix or go to Prime or go to cinema. Those are the things we need to be conscious of as we begin to think of filmmaking in this era. Thank you very much. I think I have not I hope I have not exhausted my time.
All right. Thank you so much. I see the clap, the applause is coming. Please, let's celebrate him. Let's put our hands together if you want to. The emojis are definitely there. Thank you so much for that insightful time. Aji, as we like to call him. Of course, we're looking at that topic, the cinematic lens, professional filmmaking in a phone camera world, letting you see that you can start. For my takeaway from that point was that you can start from wherever you are. If you want to start with your smartphones, please go ahead. But then you can still not take away that professional experience that the camera of the real cameras would bring in to it as far as professional filmmaking is concerned. So thank you very much, Ayokunle Ajisafe, for bringing that clarity to the unique advantages that professional cinematography brings to the table. And at this point, we'll be going into the final part of the session. The fourth panelist will be speaking right now, and that's my big brother, Babatunde Ogunshiku. I'll talk about him a bit. So the way Babatunde and I met was, I should call it happenstance, or should I say circumstantially. So we both happen to be chess players. So I was going to have a chess event, the first chess event I ever really held, and all that. And I started going online looking for who is that person that, and I stumbled on him on Channels TV. He's still a chess analyst anyway. He's been doing that for a long time on Channels TV. Those of you who play chess, you know this man who is about to speak. And that's how we met. And of course, I saw he also had a craft. He was also a photographer. So imagine combining two major areas there, and it does a fantastic job with all things visuals. So I'm going to be sharing his citation very quickly before he'll be coming up to speak. So just give me a second to just scroll to that to his page. All right, yes. So, Babatunde Ogunshiku is the founder and CEO of All Things Visuals, a brand dedicated to creating timeless images that capture and preserve memories for a lifetime. His work at All Things Visuals showcases his passion for storytelling through photography, where he combines technical expertise with an artistic eye to deliver stunning visual narratives. Specializing in portraits, events, and commercial photography, Ogunshiku's approach is rooted in his commitment to understanding his clients' unique stories and transforming them into beautiful, lasting imagery. In addition to his role at All Things Visuals, Ogunshiku is an influential figure in the African chess community. As the CEO of Africa Chess Pty Limited and Africa Chess Media Pty Limited, he leverages the power of chess as a tool excellence. His leadership in the African chess industry lives and shaping futures through creativity and strategic thinking. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Babatunde Ogunshiku. He's going to be speaking to us on the future of photography. He's going to be speaking to us on the future of photography, merging technology with tradition. Of course, he'll be sharing his thoughts on the future, focus on how new technologies like AI and advancing editing tools are shaping the field while honoring traditional values. But today, please take it away. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for the intro. Thank you very much for having me here. Well, I'll just basically start from where I started from. I did start from being a phone photographer because I wanted to keep some events in the minds of people. And I graduated from being a phone photographer to being a Canon photographer, and then from there now I use a Nikon, and it's been quite the journey. Now we take a look at, before we can talk about the future of photography, we need to actually take a look at where photography started from. And basically, photography was invented by the Frenchman Joseph Nicephore Niepce, actually. And photography has evolved over time. It has gained more grounds. Before photography, there was art. Now there's still art and there's photography. So that is telling you that no matter the advancements that phone photography might have, there will always be the camera photography, because it is also moving at the same pace as the phone, the AI that is backing up phone photography. Now, where is photography? Photography is at a place where you have a phone can take very good pictures. You have the phone having some of the items, some of the core items that makes camera photography really solid, or makes it what it is. And that is one of the reasons why you find some of the iPhones, the Samsung, and all these other phones really stepping up their game and inculcating various AI into what they are doing in order to provide very good pictures and good videos, night vision, amongst other things like that. So yes, it's been quite the journey for photography, camera photography, phone photography. It's been quite the journey. And where we are right now is a place where yes, phones can do a good job, but at the same time, cameras are evolving. Let me use a chess term. It's just like when a master played a novice, and then the novice continues to train with the hope of defeating the master, and the master is also training with the hopes of defeating someone else above. The question now is, will the novice catch up to the master when the master still has someone else he is looking up to? So that's where we are with phone photography and camera photography. It's just as simple as that. Now, we look at the differences and similarities between the camera photography, which is termed as the traditional photography, and technology, which is tagged as the phone photography. So, the truth is, when you look at these two types of photography, you'd realize that the phone, yes, it makes things a lot faster. However, as good, okay, so let me use this analogy again as regards the phone, well, the similarities and differences between both. As much as the phones can take good pictures, you find that wherever there is any major event, you see tons and tons and tons of photographers using various camera gears. And yes, the same way we have the different lenses for the main camera, there is an evolution that is having a form of lens for the phone camera also, in order to get different angles to the phone photography. Now, looking into the future, currently we have some solid cameras. We have the Nikon Z6 series, we have what it is today to, sorry, can everybody hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can. Yes,
Yes,
we can.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so as I was saying, so imagine that
Hear
Fujifilm
you.
actually evolved from being a film film-based camera to having the ZV E1 series. We have the Canon EOS series, amongst other types of latest cameras that we're dealing with right now. So all these things are things that they actually look at to realize that there are a lot of things going on in the camera industry, and it will only get better. The producers, the developers, the architects of these cameras continue to grow. And as they grow, is the same way their cameras and other things will continue to grow. I look at the future of AI, and I see a merger between, I mean, the future of photography, and I see a merger between AI and the traditional cameras, where they find a way to inculcate AI into what the camera delivers. And when that happens, you would find out that there is a whole lot going on in the world at the time. Yeah, now I'll just quickly brush through some tools and trends that helps with, well, AI, some AI tools and trends. We have the Adobe Sensei and the Skylum Luminaire. These use AI tools to enhance pictures and lights, colors, and at the same time, you can use these tools to change the skies to whatever color you want it to be. and remove unwanted objects. You have the Filmora, InShot, Lightroom as some apps that you can use to enhance your videos and all that, create videos from still pictures, add music to them, and amongst other things like that. And then there's the GoPro device and app that you can use for 360 ideas and various things like that. Now, just to wrap it up quickly, I would say the future of photography remains in the hands of the creatives behind the amazing developments we have witnessed thus far. And AI will ultimately play a huge role in that future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vasile Gushiko, for that very insightful one. Okay, I see all the applause is coming up there. I think this has been a very insightful one for me. It's been a total, how will I put it now? Learning afresh, especially when we look at how you merge technology with tradition. Thank you for that. Thank you for that so much for those forward-looking insights. And at this point, before we go into the panel discussions, I don't expect that to take a long time. Can we just take? I think let's go back to the audience. I mean, to the polls. We have some polls we shared earlier on. Just see what the responses to that are. The first one, we had the first poll there where we asked a few questions. And we said, are photographers still relevant today? Do you think smartphones have actually replaced actual cameras on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being the highest. Tell us how relevant you think they still are. That is photographers. So 5 was supposed to let us know how relevant photographers are in terms of the highest. So we had 3 votes that thought that, well, okay, let me end the poll now so we can, let me end the poll here so we can take the tally. So we had 3 votes. Let me view okay, I think we can view the results. Yeah, okay, let's show everyone the results then. I'm sure we can all see the results of the polls here. So apparently we had 6 votes here. I'm trying to see where they are. How come I can't see the names of who voted? Okay, anyway, so we have 3 people. 3 people thought photographers are still relevant. 1 person, 3 people selected 3. 1 person selected 4 and 2 people selected 5 in terms of relevance. Then the second one we had, so let me end up poll 2. The question was, have you ever made a quality video with your phone that could easily rival an actual camera? 3 people voted yes. I'd like to know who those 3 people are. Anyway, let's see what kind of phones are those. Maybe you want to tell us the phones they were. You could type it in the comment section. Most likely iPhones anyway, so we can bring back the battle between the Samsungs and the iPhones. All right. Then, of course, the last one was, how long do you think it is ideal to wait before your nicely edited pictures are ready? And for this one, we had 7 responses. Okay. 1 person thinks that less than 30 minutes, your edited pictures should be ready. I think those photographers will need to do some serious magic. Maybe that's where Papa by Aduni comes in then. Then, of course, okay, nobody, okay. So 6 people thought within 24 hours, your edited pictures should be ready. I think I fall into that group too. Nobody really likes to wait for so long after you take your pictures, and you have to wait for God knows how long before your pictures are ready. You want to have them as soon as and as quickly as you can. Thank you so much for your participation, everyone. I'm going to end this poll as well. Then that takes us to the next part of the conversation. And before we go into that, I remember we had 1 or 2 hands raised earlier on. So maybe we just quickly give them permission to speak. I remember, I think Chinemerem, you had a hand up before. Do you want to speak at this point? I noticed you had a hand.
Yes, I had a hand up.
Okay, please go ahead. Yes.
I don't know if everybody can hear me.
I can hear you, but you might want to speak a bit louder, please. Are you still there? Can we do that quickly because of our time? All right, I guess we'll just wait for her, but we'll just come back to her then. So let's just go right away into the panel discussions. I trust my panelists are still here. Aduni, please confirm you're still here, Aduni.
Yes, I am.
All right, good to know. Okay, oh, now we can see your face now. All right, so that is Aduni, everybody. She did turn on her camera before. All right, nice to
I apologize for that.
Tosin, can I confirm you're still here? Tosin Lakinwa, please, can you confirm you're still here? Ile Lakinwa.
Yes, Ilela Kinwa, I'm still here.
All right, okay, I pronounced it well this time. Good. Okay, good to know you're
Yes,
still
you
here.
did.
Aji, are you still here? Ayokunle Aji Shafe, please confirm you're still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, I
I'm
see.
here.
Okay, you're still here. So I can see Babatunde Okishikwe is still here as well. So we're going to be going right away into the panel discussions, not just one or two questions, just to, pick our brains a bit. We'll wrap this up in another 10 minutes. Hopefully, we don't want to take that long. Of course, thank you, everyone, for the four of you for those amazing insights you shared with us in different dimensions of this conversation. Now, let's look at this. To start with, Aduni and Oluwatosin, you spoke first, so I'll start with you guys. And as I like to say, ladies first. So we've seen how smartphones have reshaped client expectations. What do you think are some key reasons clients still choose professionals over smartphones, despite the convenience and quality of phone cameras? Of course, yeah, we know that phone cameras literally give you that ease. You can take your phone and take any picture at any point in time. But why do they still prefer to use professionals? What reasons? Any of you can go first. Aduni or Tosin, please. The question is actually for both of you, and I would like to hear your thoughts. So let's do that in maybe a minute or two. Thank you. Anybody can go first.
Tosin, do you want to go first? Do you want to go
No, please. You can go first.
All right then.
So I feel like why people still choose photographers, especially for their events, is just so the coverage. Because it's different when you actually take an event picture with your phone compared to when you have an expert. They're taking all the detail, even details that there are some footage when they give you like the final edited images, right? I've had clients who will come up and say, "Oh, this person came for my event. I didn't even see her." Do you understand? Or
yeah,
let's just say the quality. I personally will go for the quality because that's what my clients tell me they come to me for. So let me say quality of the image you give to them afterwards. How your composition, your lighting, the way you're just able to tell a story from a different perspective, the perspective that they don't even foresee during that event. I think that's where a creative come in, where you can just take that picture and capture the event in a very beautiful way and deliver a great job to them. So I feel like that's one of the reasons people still choose photographers.
Fantastic. Okay, great one. And that's a very key reason there. All right, Tosin, take it away. Let's hear your side.
Okay,
why do you think people still prefer photographers instead of using their phones?
Okay, so I would say it's everything, because like I said earlier, you can't compare the professional camera with the phone camera. It's different. So what we have a lot of people do now is, take their daily, pictures with their phone. I do that a lot because it's immediate and I can post anytime. But for special events like their birthdays, anniversaries, and of course events, people come to the studio because of the quality. It's different, the creativity, she mentioned everything. I keep saying there are two different things, right? But now we have to incorporate. So you can now use your phone for BTS videos, for a lot of other side things, but for the quality, for the editing, for the creativity, the sets, professional photographers are the go-to for such things. But for day-to-day activities, you want to just go out of your house, you want to take a picture, for those ones, you can always use your phone. But people know when to go to the photographer. And you can't use well, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Spot on. True. I totally agree with you. There's a lot that your phones cannot do, especially, okay, case in point, we had an event recently, all right, with one of the schools where we run our programs. So we had an event, it was supposed to be an inter-school chess tournament. So our professional photographer who we always use for all our events, the guy wasn't showing up early, and we started using our phones. So for the first like half of the entire event, we had to use phones. Then the guy showed up eventually. I think he had some issue on the road before he got in. And when he got in, he eventually started. And of course, he did this work, but he had missed a large chunk of the event. By the time the pictures were ready, you know, when we looked at what we did with our iPhones and all of that, and we saw what this guy did with his professional cameras. Come on, we had to like, we should not have posted before if we had known. I've just waited for this guy because we had already posted once we took with the phone, but the difference was clear. So I totally agree with you guys. Thank you so much, ladies, for that very insightful comment. And okay, let me quickly take the other question. I think this one should be for Aji. Yeah, Aji, this is for you. All right, you mentioned earlier. I mean, Aji, can you confirm you're still in? I noticed you kind of looks like you dropped off for a bit. Let me be sure. Is Aji still here?
I am here.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I good to know you're still here. All right. You asked them. You mentioned earlier that the advantage of professional equipment. You mentioned those advantages rather of professional equipment in filmmaking. Could you elaborate on any specific advantage that you feel could never be replaced? I think you've said something around that, but I still want to ask again for the sake of those who maybe did not hear before. Any specific advantages that you feel could never be replaced by phone cameras, especially for high-stake productions? You're muted in case you're speaking, Aji.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can.
So, now, the truth is this, there is no way we want to talk about professional work that you would not see certain people funding it. Now, if your film is going to Netflix, for instance, or you are going to cinema, or you expect that your film will win an Oscar, there is a standard that it has to have, which most of the time phone cameras cannot give you. I don't know if we understand that concept. So it's
yes,
it's a part. Yeah, it's like something that is deliberately put in place to make sure that you don't cross that line. Because if they open it up such that you can
I don't. Okay.
probably download an app and then you.
Yes, I can hear you now. We lost you for a second, but we can hear you now. Yes.
Oh, I think maybe it's the network. So you can imagine if there are no restrictions such that you can just shoot with your phone and then put on Netflix. Do you know how many products will be on Netflix? Some of the time it could be boring. The people that are supposed to make money from Netflix will not make money from it. So there is a business part of it. Such that, for instance, even the Oscar, even Grammy, there are certain songs. Your song can be super dope, but if you don't record with certain software and mix and master with certain software, your song cannot win a Grammy. It is not rocket science. The same also goes for the movie industry. There are certain standards that you must meet that phone cameras will not give you. Editing, I know most of the softwares are trying to see how they can go. For instance, Blackmagic now has a Blackmagic app for iPhone that I've used a couple of times, and the quality is super. But the truth is this: I've not seen anywhere where I've not seen on the part of the cameras Netflix accepts. I'm not sure the Blackmagic app is one of the cameras they accept. So those are the things that restrict or limit the acceptability of some of these productions in the big world.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very much. So definitely there are just some areas you can't touch that no matter whatever phone you have, you can't just measure up. You have to use the relevant equipment, of course, especially for high-stake productions. And of course, Babatunde, on the last note, a very quick one there. Of course, giving your perspective on merging tradition with technology, do you think we might see maybe new forms of art or photography emerge purely from smartphone capabilities and to all our panelists, what advice would you give to aspiring photographers in today's climate? You use that as your, last words, I guess. But let's quickly hear Babatunde help us with that. What do you think we might be seeing some new forms? You talked about AI earlier on and some other things that we are beginning to see. That is as if that gap begins to exist between tradition and technology, but we need to be able to blend it. So what new forms of arts do you think we might be seeing eventually, purely from smartphone capabilities? Over to you, sir. Then, of course, you give us your final words too, in terms of what advice you give to aspiring photographers in today's climate. Thank you.
Okay, so devices that would have camera, photography capabilities. Yeah, it won't just be the mobile phones. Like I mentioned, the GoPro. GoPro is not necessarily a camera, but at the same time, it has the camera capabilities, and it shows that there are a number of devices that will be created as we move into the future of photography that would be able to take pictures, do videos, amongst other things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting future ahead of us with the advancement of AI, as well as the advancement of the cameras and the challenges that they pose. Sorry about that. Now, personally, I would say it's definitely going to be interesting. A lot of things are going to happen. A lot of evolutions will come into play. And by the time all this evolution starts to play out, we'll see that photography in itself will be the winner. Yeah, traditional photography will never go out of play. It will never go extinct. That's one I can assure you. No matter how developed the phone cameras will get, or no matter how beautiful and pixelated the phone cameras will get, they will not phase out the traditional cameras. That's one I can tell you for free. For those that want to get into photography, start with what you have. My mentor told me that a while back, and it's the best advice that anybody could take. Start with what you have. If it's the phone, start with it. If it's a camera that does not have lens, that is undetachable, start with it. The truth is, when you start with what you have, you start building towards what you want to have, and that's just the best thing that can happen to anybody. Start with what you have. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that, Babatunde Ogunshiku. My the key takeaway from that, especially for those who are looking at, taking a career in this, start with what you have. You don't have to have it all perfect. With what you have, you can. And, in fact, a lot of photographers we see today just started with playing with camera phones here and there. So thanks so much for that insightful contribution, Mr. Babatunde Ogunshiku. We'll take quick last words from any of our power. Before we do that, I think we should just go right away to the question and answer section. So, Chinemerem, if you're okay, Genesis said I'll start with my phone. Good. What kind of phone do you use, Genesis? Maybe we should take some polls again. Type in the comment section, what kind of phones do you use? In fact, we have one of my senior men here, Mr. Tayo Woye. Yeah, I'm going to call your name. Yeah, I see you. Is somebody who I know I don't think he sells cameras, but he sells the best phones you can ever find in this side of the planet. I hope we are not demarketing your work now with all this what we are saying about. All right, then I see. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Oh, Miss Cynthia. Okay, Miss Cynthia. Mabioki said I use Android. Good. Whether we are using Android, you people will not allow us to rest. Thank you. Yes. Who else uses Android? And okay, maybe I should throw a quick poll here before we take the question and answers. What do you use? What phone? Okay. I use Redmi and an XR. Okay, the Bullet Nigeria Limited. Are you a big man? No, Redmi and XR. Nice. Okay. Okay. Papa today says I just got my Techno Spark 20. I want to get that phone. So I heard it's really nice. So you see here now, it's not all of us that are using iPhones, and we are not. Nobody has killed us for it. All right. Thank you so much for those contributions. Yes, Neme, I don't know if you are available to speak now. You wanted to make a contribution earlier.
I'm available to speak now.
Okay, we can hear you now. Please go ahead now. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, iPhone XS Mark. Okay, please go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. About evolution of phone cameras trying to take over photography. The thing is, I feel it could never do that. Just like Tosin has already mentioned, it's like overreaching. But it doesn't mean that it cannot rival actual digital cameras. It's already rivaling actual digital cameras nowadays. Because when we talk about that phones cannot be good enough, the quality cannot be good enough, it might just be in recent comparison. Because the kind of phones and the kind of quality we get from phone pictures nowadays rival everything we could get 10 years ago from digital cameras. So
Correct.
saying that when you print out the pictures, it will not be clear. It's just in the nearest future we are going to get something like that, something clear. Because when the camera phones introduced, we never knew there was going to be a time like now when you can just pick up your phone and you do something and it looks like magic right from your phone. So I think the actual perk the phone has and why it's like a bomb right now is just because of versatility. It's very versatile and it's very mobile, just as the name implies, it's mobile phone. Then why I think it wouldn't overthrow the camera is still in the fact that it is mobile and it's versatile. So because it is all this, it cannot be special. It's not like specialized. There's no professionalism in it because of what it is. Everybody can just bring out their phones and then do something, and then there is nothing special in that phone work. And that is why when somebody has an actual event, they seek out a person who is a professional photographer. Then just like Tosin also mentioned again, because at some point I lost some of the speakers, some calls entered my phone, so I went off this session. Just like she mentioned, the person behind the camera is also a huge factor. Whoever is behind the camera. So for professionals like the ones that have spoken to us earlier on in this session, when they are the ones behind the said iPhone or Samsung phones, they'd also do magic. And actually blaming or putting the credits of all this phone on AI is like it's kind of a scam, because we also know the reason why professional photographers say we should give them days to get our work done. So they employ the help of all these AI tools. So when regular phones, when they take pictures or their video, they still go through all this work and then get the thing done as professionals too. Because in the absence of digital camera, where a professional needs to work, the person is going to work with their phone and try to make it come out as perfect as their actual work. And they would say, oh, this from phone, so let me charge low. Why? You wouldn't know. I don't know whether you're getting where I'm coming from.
Totally.
I think actually, just like somebody here mentioned, they can just work hand in hand, they can complement each other. And also, sorry, I think I'm thinking a lot. I've been using, I think.
We'll give you like 10 seconds more.
Okay. So our attention span being very, very short nowadays is part of the reason why everybody can just pick up their phone and tell stories, and nobody really wants to stay behind and wait and say, oh, this one is from a professional camera, this one is not from a professional camera. So in situations like that, just let the general public tell their stories with their phones. And when somebody needs the expertise of an expert, the person is going to employ one. Just keep improving your art, keep improving your equipment, keep improving your work, keep getting more and more and more. Keep getting better at what you do, and people will employ your service. We see what you do as professional photographers, and we are going to employ the service of professional photographers when we need one. It doesn't discredit the phone. So this is everything I have to say about this.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. I was almost going to ask that, are you a professional photographer or something? But that was a
No,
beautiful
no,
one. Thank you so much, Chinemere Majogu. Thank you. I see we have some ants too. Okay, okay, I see Cynthia. Okay, yeah, Miss Mabia, cool. Oh, I see your hand there. Okay, let's allow you speak. Looks like you want to say something. I see some other ants too. Don't worry, I'll call you all one after the other. Please, Miss Cynthia, you have the floor, ma.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Totally, loud
Yes,
and clear,
yes.
yes.
Okay, so I'll be quick. I'm actually at work, so I can't really talk for long. Here's the thing. Professional photography and non-professional photography, if we want to put it like that. For me, I'm someone that I love pictures. I grew up in a home where my mom would make us take pictures every festive period, your birthdays, anniversaries, stuff like that. Even right now, she goes along and makes sure that we do things and stuff like ensure that even if you're far off, you send her pictures and you try to get people or a photographer, a professional photographer, to work on those pictures to be able to make a frame for her. Now, everybody has said something that is true. Whoever is behind, whether it's the professional camera or whether it's your phones, can produce magic. I use a Samsung S24, and believe me, because I love pictures and I love videos, my S24 does stuff to me that sometimes I take pictures. There's this part of the camera that says single take. Now it can give me, depending on the angles and directions and my movement, I can get as much as 8 takes. Sometimes I get as much as 14 takes. And what that does for me is that it gives me different angles, gives me different lightings, it gives me a GIF. It also gives me uh maybe what's this other one, like the boomerang, slow motion, fast motion. Like it just gives me a lot of things, depending, like I said, depending on the angle and how I'm taking it and what I'm doing, taking it for. So that way I have so many aspects. Yes, we may say the quality of pictures, but then again, you know that I can also take from these pictures on my phone, put them on a laptop, and then I can now use my AI tools to be able to work with them and then get the best results that I can. But what I will not still take from a professional photographer is that they bring lighting, they bring um, so many other, aspects of photography that your phone can't really do. And so that I don't take much of your time, I feel that we should not take it away from, yeah, we're getting to that generation where people are not printing anymore. But yes, we don't print. But look, the truth is that sometimes you can lose those stuff when you don't. If you print, you can lose them with water, with over time, with storage. Then again, you can also lose data when there's a backup breakdown and all those stuff like that. So in general, like Chinemere said, we are going to have to, at a certain point in time, work hand in hand. We'll store in clouds, we'll print when we need, the need becomes. Professionalism just goes to show that you have gone, you have studied, you have mastered the act of it. And because you're a master at what you do, you're able to produce magic, whether it be your phone, whether it be your gadgets and cameras too. Just the way phones are evolving, cameras are actually evolving too. There are so many tools. Like when drones came out, people did not expect that drones would be able to take pictures. You could put a phone on a drone and then you could get pictures in motion, moving and stuff like that. So see, it's a whole wide range of things. And trust me, if we want to start, we might not finish because, like I said, I love photography. So there's so many good aspects to it that we cannot even phantom right now. It's one thing about photography is that it's dynamic, and so it keeps evolving, it keeps changing, and phones will always try to catch up. When by the time phone is catching up to what photography and your equipment can do now, they will also upgrade the equipment to do better. So for me, I just feel that it's a give and take. It just depends on who is handling what and doing what. And then, the AI is coming up and is trying to make things look difficult. But truth is, At the end of the day, this AI can only do so much, is what I always say. They can only do so much. It is human beings like us that actually produce or give this AI a function of what it can do. It's programming. You have to be able to program stuff to be able to produce what you need it to do. The day we are not able to upgrade AI, something else will come that's different from AI. So these are the things that we just need to understand. I hope I haven't taken much of your time. Thank you so much.
You so much. Wow, I'm loving this session so much. Thank you so much, Miss Cynthia, for that very insightful intervention as well. Yes, of course. AI has come to stay, but then AI is still, that's why they call it artificial intelligence. It's still not human. You cannot compare with human intelligence. It's basically a garbage in, garbage out thing. It's what you give that you'll get. So, and of course, you cannot take that place. And again, I remember I said something from the beginning when we started this session. That I remember my very first camera phone. It was a Sagem, my X7. This was in 2004, thereabouts. My first camera phone, that is. That camera was like nights. But you see what we have today, right now. We have cameras that are almost as crystal clear as reality itself. And of course, if you keep evolving, it's just for us to know how to also keep evolving with the times. Thank you so much for those insightful comments. Let me just, okay, I think Babatunde, you had a hand up. Maybe we should allow you to speak very quickly before we allow Carol away also speak. I saw a hand, but your hand came first. Yes, please, you have the floor, sir.
Please let Carol go first. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, fine. Okay, Carol away. Interestingly, Carol was a panelist in our last she was a panelist in our last webinar. Glad to have you here again. She's here with her husband. I don't know if it's her or her husband that wants to speak. You can unmute yourself. I know I was seeing Mr. Way here on the screen earlier.
Good evening, everyone. I don't know if everyone can hear
Carol,
me.
good evening. Good evening. Glad to have you here.
Today. Yeah. Okay, so I actually don't have much to say, but I just have one or two contributions with regards to photography. A lot has really changed over time. You can actually be a photographer, a professional photographer, without having a photography studio, without having a professional camera. A lot of people make, 6 figures nowadays with just, a smartphone, and they take very good pictures. They do videography, they cover events with just their phones. And if anybody would ask me, yes, iPhones, they do a lot of justice to these things. They create very crystal clear pictures and very lovely videos. So a lot of people want to go into photography, but they're still limited. They want to buy the very expensive gadgets before they can go into this so-called profession. But no, the phone in your hand can actually do it, but well, not just any phone. S24 Ultra can also give you very crystal clear pictures.
Yeah, okay. Are you still speaking, just to be sure? Okay, I'm thinking it's an interference, but that was duly noted. Thank you so much for those very insightful comments too. Yes, understanding the fact that, oh, you're still talking. Okay, please go ahead. Can we wrap it up in about 30 seconds? Carol, please continue, please. Hello. I'm thinking it's a network glitch. Is it from me or from her? Can you all hear me? Just to be sure.
Yes, we can hear
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, it's not me then. All right. Okay, because of our time then. Okay, so I think I saw Aduni's hand too, but please let's hear you first, Babatunde. Then Aduni, I saw your hand earlier. I don't know if you're still here. But Babatunde, let's have you first. Okay, Babatunde wants to want everybody to be going first. Okay, Aduni, your time, please. All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to, the idea of iPhone taking of smartphone taking over photography or AI taking over photography. I don't think that would ever happen. I genuinely don't think that can ever happen. Because think about this. the human, think about how the human mind works, how we can just think of stuff, like the way we process, the way we analyze things. I feel like for photography to be in distinction, the human itself has to extinct. Like we will no longer have to exist. Do you get? Because it's a creative process. The process of photography is creativity. So if you cannot sit down and visualize something, you're creating something different. As a photographer, the essence of you saying I am a professional photographer is you are creating a masterpiece, something no one else has ever done. So there's a lot to put in place. There's a lot of mind work for you to be able to achieve that one thing. This is your own process. So photography can never, comparing photography with phone and saying smartphone can take away, photography, or AI can. It's like we're saying, oh, the human itself will stop existing. And bear in mind, we created AI. The human itself came up with the idea of AI. So let's consider all of these things as a tool to like help make your life easier as a creative, make you get on the go idea. Let's think of all of these things as a tool, not as the photography process itself. That's just what I wanted to add to it.
All right. Thank you so much again, Adini, for that. True. True. I like the fact that you're holding your ground and saying that no matter what, there is nowhere smartphones want to ever get to that level where they take over photography. I mean, real camera photography, that is. It's subject to further argument. I don't know if there are any other hands. I think I saw another hand earlier. But before Babatunde speaks, so I'm just checking the comment section. Okay, I can see. Okay, we have a lot of comments. Oh, Google Pixel is great with pictures. Okay. We have, okay, Adimola says Google Pixels is greater than iPhones. iPhones are greater than Samsungs. Samsungs are greater than I mean, I don't understand. The debate is, I'm saying a lot of greater than and less than. Yeah. All right. Great one in the comments. You can all check that. Genesis said, I believe it depends on the type of phone and camera you put side by side. Can a phone really give us an amazing video of a World Cup match like their professional cameras do? That's a very big question. That I don't think so, if you ask me. When you watch, I watch the Premier League, for instance. I see those footage, those things, those crystal clear images you see. I don't think your mobile phone will really do that, even if you're using iPhone 16. I've not even had one anyway, but then I still think there will always be that difference between what professional cameras can do and what phones can do. Okay, Ademola Akinkumi Jr. says, basically, you cannot put a phone and a professional camera side by side, no matter how old the camera is. A phone has other functions, but a camera's only function is to be a camera. Facts only. All right, I see. Okay, exactly my point. Okay, talking about expensive gadgets, prices doubled up already. True. All right, okay, I see a response there to Ademola, I think from Miss Cynthia, that says, Ademola, the mere fact that the camera is made for just pictures and videos makes it better than the phone. There's so much a processor can accommodate. I totally agree with you. A camera's sole purpose and function is to take and process images. There's no way you can match the engines in an actual camera to that of a phone. Wow. Okay, I think the cameras are winning this debate. So I take beautiful shots with my phone, but I can't compare them to the shots taken on my Canon. Thank you so much, Ademola Akinkumi Jr. for this. And of course, for all the contributions so far. It's been a very exciting evening. As we wrap up, we'll gradually go into our giveaway. Like we said earlier on, we usually do a giveaway during our sessions. This is going to be the third one running. We have a 20,000 Naira prize to give. Now, I'm a bit confused on how I'm going to decide this. But what we've done in the last two sessions is that we had a lot of insightful engagements from the audience and we could not really decide. So what we just did was, okay, the top four, the best of them, we just split the 20,000 among them, except if you think we should give it to one person. So at this point, we'll take quick questions from the audience. If you have any question at all, or maybe any of the panelists, you can type it in the Q&A section, or you can just raise your hand to speak so we can allow you to speak. If you have any questions for any of them, or you just have a general question, I'd like them to answer. Okay, so my apologies, I forgot Mr. Ogushiku. But my apologies, please, you have the floor. Go ahead, sir. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, I just wanted to add to the to what Chinemerem said, as regards the phone being, is it a competitor or something to the camera? Well, okay, so the idea really is the fact that you can have phones like all the things in the chat are said. You can have phones that take good pictures and do good videos, take them to the AI to edit and all that. But at the same time, if we are to be sincere with each other, you'd realize that a camera of this age and time compared to the best of the best iPhone of this age and time, they don't stand on the same pedestal. And that's the honest truth. You can take an iPhone of this age and time and try to compare it with a camera of, say, 20 years ago. Even at that, it would be difficult. And I'm not using the word 20 years ago lightly, as in, because even back then there were good solid cameras. So one way or the other, we accept that the phones are doing amazing jobs right now, are helping to make, like Cynthia said, you can do your day-to-day pictures, videos, shots, and all that with your phone. Amazing. You get very good quality results. But at the same time, to put them side by side with a camera, that would be really, really a tall order. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so basically still buttressing that strong point that the place of of more of camera, real cameras, professional cameras cannot. You can't. I mean, you can't underestimate the relevance of this. Okay, Chinemere, you have one more. You want to say? Okay, let's give you a few seconds, please. You cover time. Chinemere, please go ahead. Go ahead, please. You have the floor. Okay, my apologies. Sorry, I had a bit of a network glitch for a second. So I'm looking at this very quickly now. Just a few comments we have here too. Okay, see, okay. Okay, Ademola said, aha, this camera shoot about 5 megapixels at 120 frames per second. This simply means these cameras take, okay, wow, 65 MB pictures 120 times in a second. There is no way an iPhone or a Samsung beats that. Very, 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 very powerful one there. Ochine Merem said, yes, sir, but they do not compare, but they are evolving really fast. And our topic being if phones can overthrow the camera, I don't think they can, but they are already relegating cameras. Very, very true, very true. Then the next one, okay, the Bullet Nigeria Limited says, let's start comparing a Samsung to a camera and less of iPhones. Samsung are actually better than iPhones. Okay, I don't want to go into that right now. I'm not going to join this battle. I'm not going to go there right now. I don't want any blood spilled between Samsung and iPhones right now. All right, camera manufacturer. Okay, Anthony says camera manufacturers are now using old camera components to create new ones. Fantastic. Which shows that the cameras cannot really go extinct. They'll still use those parts to recreate the new ones. Although I think even phones do that though, because I hear that they still use the same parts of old iPhones, iPhone 6s, 7s, and all that to still create some of the new ones we have now. I'm not sure about that, but I know I've heard that before. Adedamola also said, plus, truth be told, if you paid a photographer 1 million naira to cover your birthday celebration, and they come around with only their phone in their hands, you'd immediately begin to question their sanity. 100. I agree with that. All right, Ben Genesis says, please don't start the Samsung and iPhone comparisons again. I agree. I don't even want to be there too. All right, even Veg or Rare Magic don't dare go to events with only their phones. And Pixel is better than Samsung in quality most times. All right, I think these are very, very exciting engagements so far. Thank you so much, everyone, for all this very, very, heartfelt engagements and the contributions so far. Thanks to every one of you. So at this point, I want us to do our giveaway very quickly. And again, like I said, it's always going to be a question of the contributions that have, been shared so far. And for my nominees, I'm going to be calling their names from those I can see anyway. The nominees, I'm going to type it in the poll right away. So just give me a second to quickly put that in. So we can just all vote on it. And we can decide who is walking away with the 20,000 naira. Or if, like we've done in the previous webinars, if we are also going to just split this, among the people who, okay, sorry, I'm just trying to put the names in the comment section meanwhile. But while that is going on, we can just, anybody who has anything to say you can unmute yourself and just let's have your thoughts. If you still think there's anything else that I didn't say before, and I think I want to just maybe add one or two things too. So I'm putting this in the comment section now. I mean, in the poll right now for nominees for our giveaway. Hopefully, interesting. When we started this giveaways, the original plan there was to just give 5,000 naira. But then one of our panelists decided to add 15,000 to it, and he made it 20,000 naira. So subsequently, we felt, why we go back to 5,000 when we can as well stick with 20,000? So we've been doing that ever since. And again, today will not be an exception about that. So I'm currently putting together that list of those. Oh, come on! Okay. You know what? Let me just call the names anyway, just so we don't waste our time. And I'll just call the names straight away from the comment section here. Comment section, and of course from the engagement so far, from those I can see here. So my nominees for this evening for the giveaway, first in order of appearance anyway will be, okay, I think you guys are still saying something in the comments. Okay, first will be Ademola Akinkunmi Jr. for the engagements. He didn't say anything, but at least we heard him a lot speaking, on the comment section and giving some very insightful contributions there. So Ademola Akinkunmi is my first nominee for the giveaway for tonight. And my second nominee, again, in order of appearance, is Chinemere Majogu for the giveaway for tonight. My third is Cynthia Ebeitale Mabiriaku. Thank you for your contributions, Ma. I really, really appreciate it. My fourth nominee will be The Bullet Nigeria Limited. My fifth nominee is Genesis Ben Osadolo. He also did not speak, but then he has been typing a lot in the comment section. And I think those are all the nominees I have for tonight, for those who are walking away with so I think I have 5 there. I'll run through them again. Ademola Akinkunmi Jr., Chinemere Majogu, Cynthia Ebeitale Mabiriaku, Genesis Ben Osadolo, and The Bullet. That's the name we have there, the Bullet Nigeria Limited. We don't know what your real name is. So if you think any of these people deserve to walk away with it, or I don't know if I should allow my panelists decide on this one, but let me just put the names in the polls very quickly, the 5 that I have, so we can just make that decision. Let me just type it with the giveaway. Okay, so the first person, of course, I think we had Ademola. Of course, we had Chinemerem. Okay, we had we're wrapping up in a bit now. We had Cynthia. We had The Bullets. Okay, your name is okay. Okay, The Bullet's name is Amisu Abdul Semiu. Okay, fine. Amisu. Okay, let's put Amisu there. And finally, we had Genesis. So I'm putting up the poll right away. Please let's vote. I beg you, please vote on this one so we can decide who is walking away with this. And if we have a tie or something, then we might just have to, of course. So please, the vote is open. The poll is open. Let's take this in the next 1 minute. Oh, Amisu has voted for himself, I think. All right, let's go. Okay, I see I vote for Ademola there. So 1 vote for Amisu, 1 vote for Ademola. Okay, 2 votes for Amisu now. Okay, 2 votes for Ademola, 2 votes for Amisu. What's going on? Nobody wants to. I thought we have people who have been speaking, because the 2 people that have been voted for now have not even said anything. We only saw them in the comment section. 1 vote for Cynthia. We're wrapping up this in another another 1 minute. 3 votes for Ademola now. Okay, 1 vote for Chinemerem. Okay. 1 vote for Chinemerem. Any other votes? We have 7 in total now. Panelists, please feel free to vote. These people have been contributing to your, to conversations. I think we should also vote for them as well. If you want to vote for anybody, please feel free to drop your votes as well. We're wrapping this up in another few seconds. Anybody else voting? Anybody else voting? No, I think there are about 18 of us here right now who are left. A lot of people have left. Some are probably still coming back. So I think we should have more than 9 votes. We only have 9 votes here so far. Who are those voting for this Ademola self? Go on. Ademola, are you sure you've not multiplied yourself in this place? Okay, we're wrapping this up in another, let me just turn on my time, another 25 seconds. And I'll just count down so we can take the votes. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. I don't think my panelists actually voted though. 13, 12. We have just 10 votes.
Even though I felt like I should have won.
Even though you felt like what? You should have won. See, panelists, the panelists must win giveaway.
I want to win it too now.
I voted also.
All right. Hope you didn't vote. Okay, good. Good to know you voted. All right, good. Okay, so I think we have 11 votes so far. We still have about a few more to take, but I guess we're going to have to close it on this note and end the polls at this point. And at the end of this, Ademola has 4 votes. Chinemerem has 3 votes. Cynthia has 2 votes, and Amisu has 2 votes as well, which means we actually have a clear winner with 4 votes. That's Ademola, who is supposed to walk away with this giveaway. But then, like we normally also do in our tradition here, Ademola will also give you the right to decide, do you want to take the entire sum or do you want to share with the others? There are actually 4 of you here. If you want to share, fine. If you want to take the entire thing, fine. But we give you that right of decision, just so we can share the love. What do you decide? I'll prefer you speak if you can, or just type in the comment section. You are the winner, but then if you want to share. I didn't hear you, sir. What did you say?
Emotional blackmail.
All right. Okay. Ademola has raised his hand. Ademola, please, you can speak. You have the floor. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Good evening. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. At first I wanted to raise my hands up to speak, but then the comments got really interesting and just said to stay there. And now,
nice.
Like Batunde said, emotional blackmail, right? Everybody has contributed.
Yeah.
Everybody has contributed, and it's a winner chicken dinner thing. It's a 1-person thing, and I'm sorry, yo, but I have to walk away with the prize. I'm sorry.
Oh, right. That's okay. Can you imagine when he started talking? I even thought it was like, well, I'm a nice guy, so don't worry,
This person that can rule the world. This person can rule the world. He's so diplomatic.
All right. Okay,
like,
so Ademola Akikumi Jr. wins our giveaway for tonight of 20,000 naira.
Thank
so
you.
Please make sure you reach out. I'm sure you registered for this event. Just send us an email with your account details, and of course, please confirm. And again, one more thing, you must be following us on social media. If you're not following us on all our platforms, you might not get this. It was one of the clauses that was mentioned. Please make sure you're following us. Make sure you're following. Yeah, make sure you're following. I'm going to try and display, just as we wrap up this evening, I will just quickly display our social media details. Okay, I'll do that before we close anyway. But thank you so much, everyone, for taking time to attend this webinar today. It's been a very interesting one. It's about 6 minutes to 9. Usually it's our culture not to exceed 2 hours for this event. So please, one of the things we try to do here, of course, is like I said earlier on, to foster conversations, to foster some thought leadership, right? Let people see that, look, there's a lot to say here. And we try to do that with all all right, my apologies, everyone. So sorry. I opened another window on the window I was viewing from. My apologies for that. So that's why I got thrown out for a bit. I was actually trying to share my screen. So like I said, again, congratulations to you, Mr. Ademola. We normally have those webinars, everyone that is. Now we have those webinars every last Friday, or the second to last Friday of the month. Next month, it's going to be another interesting one. This time around, we're going to be talking about, about our emotions, about the mental health. Now, this is a challenge we seem to be having around the world these days. A lot of young people. Before then, it was always a case of, middle age crisis. Now, even people that are not even in middle age, even people in their 20s, early 30s, are beginning to face a lot of mental health issues. So we're going to be bringing panelists again to speak about this. And of course, we're going to be sharing the title of our future webinars. In December, we're going to be speaking about the Japa thing. It's all about people, Nigerians who have left Nigeria, who are in other climes. What's their reality about there? They'll be speaking about this in December. January, February, we're going to be having this every month. But please, we encourage you to keep joining these conversations. You can see our social media details right here on the screen. On LinkedIn, we are Dynamico Consulting. On Instagram, that's us. Facebook, we're on Twitter as well, X, that is. And of course, we're also on YouTube. Please follow us on all these pages. We appreciate that. Of course, keep spreading the word about what we do. And of course, our panelists have been very, very fantastic. If you want to meet them, you want to get in touch with them, please feel free to reach out. We'll definitely be happy to share their contact with you upon their confirmation. Thank you so much for being a part of our webinar tonight, and we look forward to seeing you some other time. My name again is Olugbenga Shile, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Please feel free to reach out at any point in time, and God bless you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. And once again, Ademola, congratulations. Please reach out to us so you can claim your prize. Thank you to all my panelists, every one of you who have attended. You've been fantastic. I had a great time, and I trust we all did. Feel free to unmute yourselves and just, speak while we wrap up the evening, and you could talk about anything generally, network, and all that. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Benga. Oh, bye. He has gone.
No, I'm still here. I'm not gone, though.
Yeah, my wife's phone went off earlier on. So that was what happened. And she didn't know